Hey guys, it's Loren LoRosa here for 2LTV as always, and today I am bringing you guys a very special treat. I'm actually at the CBS television lot in Los Angeles here in Studio City with Miss Tiffany Smith Anoa'i. Today I am just so excited to kind of bring you her story and share her story with you guys. I actually met her at an event, a networking event here, and I just thought she was so amazing, and she's been so helpful in a lot of the things that I've been sharing with you guys that I was going through. So we're going to jump right in. A lot of times I like to start with just the general question. How do you get here? Like, what was your journey to the seat?
The journey that I took was not just one way, and that's what I always want to stress to people, is that there's no one route to get you to where you ultimately want to be. Specifically, if you didn't major in college in a specific career, doctor, lawyer, teacher, those are very specific careers. I was a broadcast journalism major at Howard University. I rep for Howard like they pay me a check every month. So I'm a proud Howard University graduate, and I was a broadcast journalism major. I thought that I was going to be on camera as a sports journalist.
Oh, wow.
And I thought I was going to be Jane Kennedy.
Okay.
And you guys, and I'm sure everyone watching is young and they don't know who she was, but she was one of the first African-American sports broadcasters in television. And so as a kid, 6 years old, turning on the television and seeing someone that looked like me meant the world to me. And so it was something that, if you can see it, you can be it.
Yeah.
So I felt like, I want to do that. And that's what my sole purpose was going into school. And as soon as I was a freshman, I got an internship at the local CBS affiliate. And
wow.
like 20 some years later, here I am working.
Amazing is everything going full circle?
Full circle, right?
Yeah.
And once I got into that internship, I said, I hate it.
Really?
Yes, I hated it. And not the internship, it was just that I didn't want to, for broadcast journalists, normally you're going to be sent to tumbleweed X, Y, and Z. They're going to pay you like $12,000 a year at that time, but I'm sure it hasn't gotten much better.
No,
and
really.
right,
you gotta love
and
it.
you have to, you have to like cover the county fair, and I know you had to start somewhere, but I realized that I just didn't want to be in front of the camera any longer. So that's a little bit of what my taste was into what I majored in. And then I worked for Nike for many years. I was responsible for opening up the Nike Town stores in New York, San Francisco, and Beverly Hills. And so I still had that sports element because I'm such a sports fanatic. So I wanted that as part of my career. And after that, I've always been very much a what's next type of person. The journey here also was one of those where I was very interested in public relations, and that's what I did for Nike. And then a wonderful story that I have told numerous times, but the reason I'm in this seat today is a friend of mine, Ava DuVernay, the director, started out as a publicist.
Yes.
And I was a publicist at the time also.
Who just got the Barbie doll,
who has a Barbie? Good for her.
It's sold out like so fast, yeah.
But again, representation matters. Like me seeing Jane Kennedy on television, another little girl is going to see that Barbie.
Right.
And so she actually interviewed for the publicity job here, and the hiring person said, you know what, Ava, you're overqualified for this. Do you know anyone who's like you but doesn't have as much experience? And I happen to be that person. Wow. So people say people hire who they know. That's why I think that it's my job to continue to, like, I met you a few months ago and here you are in my office. Definitely. Because I want to be that connector. Yeah. And that's how I was, fast forward, how I was able to get into CBS as a publicist. And as I told you earlier, I'm a what's next type of person. And I wanted to find out, what do I want to do after being a publicist? Right. And after I had gone up to as far as I could, I created the position that I have now. And that's overseeing entertainment, diversity, and communications for the network and the studio.
A lot of times, though, I think with especially my generation, like our age, because things are so fast and like it's right there, 140 characters or less, we want it fast.
Yes.
Being a what's next type of person, do you feel like sometimes in our generation it discourages us to kind of like we're jumping from thing to thing? We're not sticking with one thing and kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like we're kind of we're running faster than what we need to be running. Do you think that that's a bad thing, or like do you think that that's something?
It depends on the situation, because sometimes I do believe that this is the popcorn generation.
Yeah.
I want it now. And how come I'm not?
Yeah.
And I think that can be a motivator as well as a little bit of a deterrent, because it can get you down in the sense of, I don't understand. I've done everything I was supposed to do. Why isn't this working out for me as quick as possible?
Yeah.
And so I think that that's a time for you need to really look at yourself to make sure, did I do all of my homework? Am I really, and you also have to look at the climate. It's a really tough job market right now.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's one of those where you have to do the work.
Yes.
You have to be a student of the business. And when I say student of the business, I really mean that in the truest sense of, did I research the role? Did I talk to someone who had the role before? What have I really done to showcase that I know this job inside and out, and I'm positioning myself as the expert so no one can tell me no?
With that being said, when you created the position that you have now, how many no's did you have to hear? I think that
a ton of no's.
We think that it doesn't happen. We see everyone.
A ton of no's.
We see you now. We see the highlight reel, so we don't know. Like what was that like? Like what was the struggle behind getting to the position you've created?
It was a challenge. I would say more than a struggle, because it was something that I created myself, and I knew I wanted it, and I knew that my passion would meet my purpose every day in this particular role.
That's amazing.
And I was a dog with a bone. I always say be relentless in your pursuit. It's something like I tweet all the time. Be relentless. Not annoying, of course, but relentless. And I was not going to take no. And yes, there were no's, and I only heard not right now, not today, not this week. But I didn't hear no forever. So I didn't let it discourage me, because even though I created this position for myself, it was 2 years in the making of, gosh, we don't have the budget. I don't know what that looks like. What does that mean?
How do you know what it looked like though? Like a lot of people, I think it's like I follow you on Twitter. So sometimes you tweet things and I'm like, wow, I'm so amazed that I think it's you get to a certain point in your career, or people think you get to a certain point in your career where it's like you have to be quiet about certain stuff. So how did you know what that looked like, and how were you not afraid to
because I wanted to do the work, and I knew that it was necessary. And when I said being a student of the business, I knew what it looked like. I knew what television was going to look like. I knew the talent that is underrepresented, and that are just because people don't know that they exist. I knew writers, directors that needed to have a voice, and I wanted to be that change agent, if you will. I wanted to be that connector.
What are some changes you've seen within CBS that you're really proud of, and you're like, you know what, I know because of what I fought for, this happened?
Number one, getting executives, even just around this building, just to think, because there is a tremendous amount of unconscious as well as conscious bias. Getting people to think a different way, wider, has really been one of my things where I'm so excited that when we're casting for whatever that it might be, and you think in your mind that this is a traditionally male Caucasian role, and then an Asian female walks in, I feel like liberated. If you're going to create anything for yourself, you can't be scared.